Her smile shines as bright as the stars at night. Her heart is as kind as can be. She has the patience of a saint, but if you push her, oh Lordy. A straight talker is Smiley. She's the salt of the earth. Make no mistake, she matters. Catch Smiley's story on a live stream. Oh boy, that girl can matter. Go Smiley. She's Smiley, alright. She's Smiley. Make no mistake why she's here. She's Smiley, alright. She's Smiley. If you're guilty, she'll smell out your fear. Missing posters and stories of heartache and fear. She tells us all of the heartbreaking tears. She can sniff out the guilty from a mile away. If Smiley's on the case, then she's here to stay. She cares about these missing children. She cares deeply about them all. She speaks the truth with integrity. For the truth, she will seek it all. She's Smiley, alright. She's Smiley. Make no mistake why she's here. She's Smiley, alright. She's Smiley. If you're guilty, she'll smell out your fear. Smiley's questions are like a heat-seeking missile. She's going straight for the bullseye. Don't ever believe you can fool her. She's too wise, man, she won't comply. She values freedom like the 4th of July. She values respect even more. If you want to earn a place at Smiley's table, watch the clock, it takes time for sure. She's Smiley, alright. She's Smiley. Make no mistake why she's here. She's Smiley, alright. She's Smiley. If you're guilty, she'll smell out your fear. If you break her trust, you're done for. Trust don't grow back like grass. So don't give Smiley a reason to doubt you, or that friendship will shatter like glass. She's a damn good woman, that much we know. She puts in the hours to bring them kids home. If your child is missing, you want Smiley on the case. She is always willing and she gives so much grace. She's a Smiley, alright. She's a Smiley. Make no mistake why she's here. She's Smiley, alright. She's Smiley. If you're guilty, she'll smell out your fear. If you're guilty, you better feel fear.
She was born and bred in Nashville, but she walks the beaches down in Florida sand. A mother and wife, a daughter, a sister, trying hard to do the best she can. She found her voice with a heavy heart, looking for purpose with trembling hands. And giving this all a new start, moving ahead, speaking for ones who came. And she says, I am who I am, I'll stand my ground. Even when the nights get long and rough, you'll hear my sound. She'll be speaking for the ones unheard, 'cause she's got a caring heart that won't be turned.
She's Smiley, alright. She's Smiley. Make no mistake why she's here. She's Smiley, alright. She's Smiley. If you're guilty, she'll smell out your fear. If you're guilty, you better feel fear.
She's Smiley, alright. She's Smiley. If you're guilty, you better feel fear. Her mama fought cancer while she was searching. Stories that needed a gentle voice. We saw summer's name and felt the heart ache and tried to bring light where there was no choice. And when she heard of Sebastian, her sadness rose. She prays for truth through the noise. She'll follow wherever the story goes, seeking their dignity, a child's joy. She says, I am who I am, I stand my ground. Even when the nights get long and rough, you'll hear my sound. She'll be speaking for the ones on her, 'cause she's got a caring heart that won't be turned. She said, I am who I am, I stand my ground. Even when the nights get long and rough, you'll hear my sound. She'll be speaking for the ones of her. She's got a caring heart that won't be turned.
Hello, everybody. Welcome in. Welcome in. Thank you for being here, everybody. Welcome in on this February 3rd, 2026, Tuesday night. What about that? Tuesday night. Hello, hello. Let's see who we got here. Let me see. We have Raymond. Hello, Raymond. Good to see you. Thumbs up. Hit that DNA. That's right. Chuchi, hello, hello. Daniel Berry Sports Highlight. Woo-hoo-hoo is in the house. Thank you for being here, Daniel. Thank you. Happy Tuesday to you. Happy Tuesday, happy Tuesday. We have Lady for Justice. Hello, welcome in. Good to see you. Left your DNA. Thank you so much. Thank you for that. Hello, Nana, Tennessee Nana there. I hope you are staying warm and all the things. Be a ladybug. Hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome in. Welcome in, everybody from everywhere. Go ahead and put down where you're at. I would love to know. I would love to know where you're at. Thank you for being here. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. It's all free. Not too much you can get free nowadays. Right? That is right. Love you. Member for 9 months. Woo, you could have done had a baby by now. You could have done had a baby. Just saying. Just saying. Thank you for your membership. Thank you for your support. Love you so much. Thank you very, very much. Thank you, as always, to every one of you for your support. Yep, it has been, hasn't it? Absolutely. Hello, hello, everyone coming in. M. Blanc, hello, good to see you. Yeah, I know, it's really sad. It's really got me down. It really has. Hello, hello, welcome in. Thank you for being here, everybody. Tennessee Nan, I love you too. Don't you worry. Love you. Always thinking about you and praying you're warm, honey, up there in Tennessee. H. Davis, hello, hello. I hope you got some sleep. I know you were going back to bed this morning too. I didn't get none. Nah, didn't get none. I've been doing some other things all day. Kentucky there. I hope Kentucky's warming up. I hope it's warming up. Hello, everybody. Dealt with water all over my bathroom floor and kitchen floor down due to a part of being frozen. Oh, no. I am so sorry. Gosh, that had to have been a mess. So sorry. I'm sorry you're having to deal with all that. I really am. It's snowing again. I know you're tired of it. Snowing again. Mm-mm-mm. Hey, hello, funny face Brenda. Good to see you. Good to see you in here. Thank you for being here. Thank you. Thank you. I'm so glad you're here. I hope you're staying warm as well. I think I am at the bottom of the list. I hope everybody is staying warm and, dealing with this mess. It was a little bit warmer here today. Thank you, Jesus. I just hope you were all warm. I don't think I missed anybody. I'm gonna go back down here. So anyway, it is what it is. Yeah, this is a sad story, I did come on a little bit this morning and we talked about it a little bit this morning, and evidently Nancy Guthrie still has not been found. She's still missing. And as far as we know, she was last seen on Saturday evening. That was January 31st, 2026, at her home near Tucson, Arizona. 84 years old. I really worry about her, and her mobility is not all that good. Her mind can be sharp as a tack. It can. Hey, Jacqueline, good to see you. Good evening. But, being older, that's not good for one. Your mobility's not good, and they're not already thinking great things, right? So none of that is good. They do believe she was abducted and she did not leave her home voluntarily. I mean, that in itself is sad. Our home is our safe space, right? It is, funny face Brenda. It is a horrible situation. Police and the investigators described the residence as a crime scene. They did that early on, based on the evidence they found there, which is very sad. It's actually scary and it's worrisome, in my opinion. Yes, and that's what I was going to say too, M. Blanc. I used to have to take those, and even, they said, be careful shaving, watch shaving your legs, any scrape, scratch, anything, because you can literally bleed to death. The blood thinners are no joke. They really are no joke. And we don't know what kind of medications, she's on, but evidently she has to have them. She has to have them because that in itself can be very life-threatening if she don't. And it's not good. It's very sad, scary, and worrisome. And yes, you can be all three at the same time. So hello, everybody coming in. Welcome in. If you're in vertical, welcome in. I'm not sure. I still haven't figured out. I think I can see you, but I'm not sure. And Lord knows I'm scared to hit anything, honey. But welcome in, and I appreciate you all being here. They say, they being law enforcement, that there is evidence of potential foul play. Blood and signs of forced entry were reported, discovered in the home, and that heightened their alert. Concerns started early on, which was good because they got out the word, they got on the case, they're not leaving anything unturned. But there are concerns among these investigators. Nancy's cell phone, as I understand it still, her car, her ID, her purse, anything she needed that was essential, her medicine, All of those things were left behind. And that's very unusual for anybody who leaves voluntarily. I also do not think this was voluntarily. Now, who's behind it? I don't know. I don't even have a thought, because it's really sad. Her daughter, evidently, one of her daughters, and maybe her husband was the last one to see her after dinner Saturday night, or was it Sunday night? No, Saturday night. I apologize. She didn't show up for church on Sunday. And so people got worried and they called the family, and then the police was called. And remember, law enforcement told the public, in fact, they stressed she has got to have her medication. And she was without her medication. They also stressed being without her medication could be deadly to her. Hey, Garrett. Hello. Good to see you. Thank you for being here, Garrett. Appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. Thank you. So they stressed that. They stressed that early on. And that is detrimental that she did not have that. Hey, Roseanne. Hello, hello. Good to see you. Officials involved include the Prima County Sheriff's Department. I think they're county. FBI, they have their assistants, and potentially other federal agencies, which he said they're not going to turn anybody down. They'll accept anybody's help. They're reviewing surveillance, digital evidence, and they're working with the FBI. That's what Nano says. They don't care. They said they will work with anybody. That includes ICE. They don't care who they are. Anybody that is willing to help, they need their help. They want their help. They don't care. They'll work with anyone. They're calling for help. They're calling for tips. Her daughter, Savannah, the family, they're calling for prayers. They want Nancy found. They want her safe. Savannah Guthrie has publicly appealed for her mother's safe return. She's expressed thanks to the public. She has thanked them for their support. She's urging everybody to continue to pray, stay vigilant. And again, Nancy takes medication, and that's extremely important for people to know she must have her medication. Because Nancy requires daily medication for health reasons, and there's an urgent concern for her well-being. Authorities are asking anyone with information or relevant footage, especially from security cameras or vehicles, to contact the Sheriff's Department. So if you know something, they said call it in. You're not bothering anyone. A lot of people like you to think you're taking away resources or you're not bothering anyone. He said so. He said so in the press conference. They want the tips. They have asked anyone to call 911 and take photos or videos if you think you see her. And that is per police. That is what they said. I quote them. We have asked for anyone with information on the elder Guthrie's whereabouts to call 911, quote, period. There's also another place put out you can call, and that's the Prima County Sheriff's Department, 520-351-4900. That is going across my blue line here. That number is up there. But they said, please call. This case is considered high risk. She left, no medication, no phone, no car, ID left behind, and the home is treated as a crime scene. Authorities believe she did not leave voluntarily. That means any new detail that you may have, any vehicles you may have saw or sighted or suspect or have descriptions of. Look, it could have been in the days before, something suspicious that you may not think is nothing could be something. It could be everything to them. Forensic updates can rapidly change the situation. And believe me, they're doing forensics. So please, if you remember anything, please call it in. Now, Nancy is 84 years old again. She's the mother of a well-known, very well-known news anchor, Savannah Guthrie, and she's missing, and this case is getting a lot of attention. She was last believed to have contact Saturday night, January 31st, 2026, at her home near Tucson, Arizona. They say this is a criminal investigation. That's what law enforcement's position is. And she did not leave voluntarily. So they know she definitely did not leave her home voluntarily. Obviously, she did not want to leave her home. They're calling it a crime scene. Again, car still there. Look at that driveway. That is a long driveway. Her purse was left behind, her ID, her daily medications. And that's critical at her age, let alone for anybody else. But at her age, that is critical. She did not leave on her own. And I don't think she chose to either. They do not think it was a robbery, though. They don't think it was a robbery. Garrett said, wonder if someone was mad because her daughter got an anchor spot for them. And that's very possible. And I just heard just a few minutes ago before I come online that she has now pulled out. Of course, I would have too, but I have heard she's, pulled out of all that. She's not doing any of that. But yeah, y'all remember a long, long time ago. Y'all were probably kids. Some of y'all don't remember. What about Nancy Kerrigan? What about all that? Boom, right in the knee, honey. People do some crazy things. People do some crazy things. I've heard her daughter dropped her off at home Saturday night between 8 and 8:45. I wonder if she went in with her funny face, Brenda, which I think they have cameras, and I think, all of that will show. Unless, certain people know where to park, just about like these parking lots, you go in. That's why it's always imperative to make sure you're parking where the cameras are on you and all that kind of stuff. Because sometimes there are blind spots. And if you know somebody, not saying that they did, I'm just saying if you know people or you have been there or you are an acquaintance or maybe you work for somebody or something like that, you know where the blind spots are. There's no exception to any rules as far as that goes. People know, especially when they're criminals. I don't think she chose to leave though. I'm with the police on that. Um, and they don't think again it was a robbery. Her home her home did show disturbance. Hey Bob, hello, hello. In my opinion, the daughter and the daughter's husband boyfriend has something to do with Nancy going missing. You know, that is a good thought. And yeah, you're welcome to your opinions. Trust me, it's crossed my mind a time or two. I don't want to blame anybody. Everybody is innocent until proven guilty. But how could it not cross anybody's mind? I mean, how could it not? Honestly, I bet it's crossed Savannah's mind. How could it not? I mean, it's the same thing I asked with Sebastian, not being funny, but if Chris wasn't home, how could he not question Katie? I'm just, you know, it's things like that that don't make sense to me. But hey, that's just me and my way of thinking. Call it what you will, call it whatever you will, but we're all allowed to have our own opinions. And you certainly are welcome here, Bob. You know that. I love you, and you are welcome to have yours. Trust me and believe me. And you know what? People can say a lot of things about me, and that may just be her photo a while ago, but I just come across, what is her name? Annie? Is that her name? The daughter, Annie? I just came across one of her photos with the husband, and she looked like she was mad, honey. And I don't think that was a photo mad because taken after her mother was gone. I just think that's her demeanor. But again, I'm not accusing, because really right now, to be honest, I don't have any things have crossed my mind because that's what I do, but I don't really know what to think at this point. Now I can sit here and go, well, and I've sat here and gone, well, it looks like maybe a break-in, but not a robbery. But did somebody stage it to look like that? Well, who in their right mind wouldn't ask that? If you didn't want to get caught, of course you would, crack something, break something, or make it look like a break-in, right? I mean, I would. And I'm not even a criminal. I'm just saying. But, and then too, think about this, Bob. If this happened Saturday night, let's just say, and I'm not saying them or they had anything to do with it, but if it happened Saturday night, I thought about this today, like somebody way out there, they had all night to clean anything up. So I'm wondering, the blood that they found, and we're going to get into that. Was it blood splatter? Was it something they missed? We're going to get into all that in a minute, so I don't want to get off track. But yeah, there is some things that's a little bit kind of weird. Some strange things going on here. Just saying. Just saying. It's just, we're all, yeah, we do live in a scary world, and we're just all trying to make sense. I believe so, Rose. I can't be 1,000% sure, but I'm hearing a couple of different things. So I am hearing that she had dinner with the husband and the daughter, but I could be wrong. Hey, it wouldn't be the first time. I could be wrong. So, let's, what I want to do is, I found this a while ago. Y'all might have already heard it. Listen, I've been trying to be busy doing my own thing and do this too. So, let's see if we can play this. Hold on just a minute. I said, yes. Okay, I'm going to play Clutch Them Pearls. So y'all probably heard this. Thank you for that. We're going to give full credit to Clutch Them Pearls. I found this before I went live, and we're going to listen to this together. And Justin knows me. I may stop and I may not. We're going to listen to it, though. So thank you, Clutch Them Pearls, for this. And here we go.
All units and copy a safe alert. It's going to be authority from Pima County Sheriff's Office, last name at Skyline Drive in Campbell. Occurred on yesterday's date at 12:15 hours. Subject last name will be Guthrie, first of Nancy. Date of birth 1/27 of 1942. 84-year-old white female, 5'4", 150, brown and blue. Last name wearing unknown clothing description. Subject was not seen at church and family went to the residence, and subject was not at home. All personal belongings, including a 1021 and wallet and vehicle, were still there. Subject is nowhere to be found. Subject suffers from limited mobility and has medication scheduled to follow up and needs daily. If located, check for 20 and contact Pima County Sheriff's Office. Again, last seen at Skyline and Campbell in Tucson. And a safe alert at 12:35.
Stand by. The copy. One item EPB safe alert. One item safe alert will be out of Tucson, Skyline, and Campbell Avenue. We're on February 1st, approximately 12:15 hours. Subject A, Nancy Guthrie, date of birth 1/27/84. White female, 5'4", 150 pounds, brown hair, blue eyes, west. Description for unknown clothing. Subject not seen at a church. Family went to residence, and subject was not at their home. 1021 wallet, vehicle were still there. Subject is, again, subject from limited mobility, has medication scheduled that they need followed. Is located, contact Tucson PD. No additional time, 1309 hours.
Safe alert for the Skyline Drive in Campbell, Pima County, 1511-7. So, safe alert, Skyline Drive in Campbell, Pima County. During yesterday's date, February 1st, at about 12:15 hours, subject date of birth of 1/27/42, of age, white female, 5'4", 150. Present, wearing clothing. Subject was not seen at church. Residence of subject was not at home. All personal belongings, including one wallet and vehicle, were still there. Subject suffers limited medical and medication schedule to follow and needs data check welfare and contact Pima County.
Audience copy. Third broadcast of safe alert to the authority from Pima County Sheriff's Office, last seen at Skyline and Campbell in Tucson. Safe alert last seen on yesterday's date at 12:15 hours. Subject last name is Guthrie, first of Nancy, 1/27 of 1942. 84-year-old white female, 5'4", 150, brown and blue. Last name wearing unknown clothing. Subject was last.
District 2 and 12, stand by to copy. One item on the APB summary of safe alert from Skyline and Campbell in Tucson. Districts 2 and 12, copy attempt to locate one item on this APB summary of safe alert from Skyline and Campbell in Tucson. Occurred yesterday's date around 12:15 hours. Subject is Nancy Guthrie, date of birth 1/27/42, 84 years of age, white female, 5'4", 150, brown or blue. Last name wearing unknown clothing. Subject was not seen at church, so family went to the residence, and subject was not at home. All personal belongings, including the 1021 wallet and vehicle, was still there, and she was nowhere to be found. Subject suffers from limited mobility and has a medication scheduled to follow that she needs daily. Is located, check welfare, and contact BCSD.
Safe alert out of Tucson, Skyline, and Campbell. District 12 units copy. Safe alert from Skyline and Campbell out of Tucson. Subject is going to be Nancy Guthrie, date of birth 2/1/26. Last seen earlier today around 12:15. Correction, yesterday at around 12:15 hours. Date of birth is 1/27/42. She's an 84-year-old white female, 5'4", 150, brown over blue, unknown clothing description. She was not seen at church. or at her residence, and the subject was not at home. All her belongings, including 1021 wallet and vehicle, were still at her 1020. She does suffer from limited mobility and has medication scheduled to follow and needs it daily. If located, contact Coon County Sheriff's and Code 20 and of APB Silver Correction Safe Alert. Operator at 1425. Just enter units prepared to copy final broadcast for Safe Alert. Safe Alert lasting in the area of Skyline and Campbell. On the 1st, last seen in the area of Skyline and Campbell around 12:15 hours. Subject going to be Nancy Guthrie, date of birth of 1/27/42, 84 years of age, a white female, 5'4", 150, brown over blue. Last seen wearing unknown clothing. Subject was not seen at church, and family went to residence to check on her at home. All personal belongings, including 1021 and wallet and vehicle, were still there. However, subject was not there. Subject does suffer from limited mobility and needs medication that is left at the house. If contacted, contact county at 1427.
So she definitely, yeah, my heart goes out as well. They said they didn't know what she was wearing. But they described her as about 150 pounds, blue eyes, brown hair. She left all of her things behind. And I'm going to have to say, you know, I hope it was nobody she knew. I hope it was nobody she knew. Because, again, they could just throw off, we don't know what she was wearing. But, again, I don't know. I'm not accusing anyone. I'm not saying that. But there are many questions. And you better believe that they are going through every single one of those cameras and all the things. That's, that's for sure. Let me take this down, but y'all go over and sub up to Justin over at Clutch Those Pearls. The home did show disturbance inconsistent with normal activity. So there was some things that was not normal. And you can believe all the entries were checked for the things, for all the things, actually. Entry points are being, I'm saying are, but they, I'm sure, have already been, but they are probably being again and again re-examined for tampering. The law already said, and I say in my opinion, that it was done, it's already been, done, checked, and it was checked at the time for all of that, way before this live ever happened. This definitely, someone else may have entered the home, or someone else wants you to think, just what I was talking to Bob about a while ago. Someone else may want you to think it was a break-in. Either way, it's a crime scene, and they know it's a crime scene for sure. They're sure about that. And believe you me, the law knows what they know, and they're dealing with it. And even if they don't tell the public or give clues out to that person, they know what they know already. And Savannah Guthrie, her 84-year-old mother, is still missing, and police suspect she was snatched from her home, her bed, being all cozy, where everybody should be safe, where everybody should be protected from the outside world, and abducted from her Tucson home. New details reveal that Guthrie's sister, again, I say allegedly may have, but it has been confirmed she was the last person to see her mom missing. Savannah, Guthrie's sister, is believed to be the last one. They have that on video camera. Hey, Rochelle. Rochelle? Yep. That has definitely crossed our minds over here, some of us. We hope not, but you never know. But her daughter Annie, Savannah's sister, is believed to be the last person to see their now missing mom just hours before she was allegedly taken, according to the reports. Annie Guthrie told Arizona authorities she didn't notice any red flags. She didn't notice anything wrong while she had dinner with her 84-year-old mother, Nancy, on January 31st, before Nancy returned to her $1 million house in Catalina Foothills home. That's what's being reported. Police have said Nancy, who cannot walk 50 yards on her own and relies on life-saving medication, left her cell phone, her car, and her wallet behind. There was DNA recovered at the home, and it was sent to a Phoenix lab. I believe that's the correct lab, Phoenix lab. And those results could take several days, or they could take longer. But police warned that Nancy is not in good physical health and may have been exposed to cold weather overnight. Hell, it's been cold everywhere, right? Yeah, who kidnaps an 84-year-old woman, not mobile, at that? I can't argue with you about that. I really can't. Again, I'm not accusing anybody, but I can't, disagree at all. However, they say her state of mind she was sharp as a tack. She was sharp as a tack. It was just hard for her mobility to go very far, maybe 50 yards. Now they say blood was found inside. We're going to get to the blood. Raymond, thank you. Raymond gave one membership. Thank you for gifting that one membership. Whoever got that, please thank Raymond. We appreciate you very much, Raymond. So they say blood was found inside the residence. How much? What the amount was? I don't know. They hadn't told anybody publicly. But you better believe it's under analysis. You better believe they're checking it out. Blood automatically elevates a case to potential violence, right? Now, it don't mean that anything bad happened, because like me and Blanc was talking about a while ago, if she was on blood thinners, and we don't know what she was on, they haven't come out and said. But if you're taking blood thinners, you could stump your toe, and honey, you could bleed to death. I know I used to be on them. I said, get me the hell off of these. I had to take them for a year. Some people have to take them the rest of their life. It is what it is. But you can bleed to death on them, period. But blood automatically elevates a case and makes it more, they look at it more as a violent crime. They don't want to give away, though, all of their information because they don't want to jeopardize anything. Now, remember that. Blood alone does not confirm anybody died, but somebody's definitely hurt, whether it be of their own or somebody did it or hurt them. We don't know. Only that, and we don't know how much was there, but only that injury definitely likely occurred. And we're going to watch something here in a few minutes on TMZ that's going to show us that, to me, looked like a pretty good amount of blood. Just saying. Blood alone does not confirm death, though, only that an injury has likely occurred, but it does not look good. And that's not including, that the sheriff himself, right there on my screen, had a few slips himself when he asked did he think she was alive. And look, he was tore up. I'm not going to lie. I think he was tore up. Did he know them? I don't know. Bob said, yeah, it's good to have cameras in the house. Absolutely. Absolutely. Even, you know what? But see, you never know what somebody's going through, but it's good, if you could have like nanny cameras or something. I don't know. Nowadays, we got to be protected all the way. Just saying. But who would ever expect anything like that? She was probably living her best life. I hope, it seems. Susanna was, or Savannah, Lord B, don't let me say the wrong freaking name, because we know these trolls, honey, they'll be shaking out the bushes. They can't stand it. She seemed like she was really good to her mom, and I really hope so. I really hope so. But I don't know anything about anybody. We don't know anybody, to be honest with you. But I pray she's alive. This is horrible. When police say a home is treated as a crime scene, it means they block it off. It means there's no family allowed. There's no cleanup allowed. They get their forensic teams in there. They collect the DNA. They collect what fingerprints they can get, if any footprints, any fibers. People don't realize fibers, man. They be coming off of you. Fibers come off of you. They collect the blood, the splatter, all the patterns, anything digital. They're going to check and recheck and recheck and recheck. Not only their eyes, they're going to call for that help and get those eyes in there. They're going to check the phone records. If they haven't got a prelim on those already, they're going to have to subpoena those and get those. And these may be things that somebody didn't think about. But nearby cameras, they're going to be checked. License plate readers, they're going to be checked. This is very serious, and they're taking this case as very serious. And I'm glad they are. I'm glad they are. This case is not routine for any missing person, but because she's 84 years old, she's an elder lady, she don't have her medicine. This is a whole new ball game. Prima County Sheriff's Department, the FBI, they're the lead, but the FBI is assisting. They have behavioral analysis there, digital tracking people there. The FBI. They had homicide detectives there very early on. That really piqued my curiosity. But FBI involvement usually means possible abduction or multi-jurisdiction, of course, as we know. They have a concern for that, but we don't know in this case. We just don't know. We don't know. From Tucson to the U.S.-Mexican border, though, and again, I'm not blaming it on anybody, but I will tell you it's about what somebody in here I know said they were from there or used to live there. They can speak for it. Is about 60 to 70 miles. That's about 1.5 hours, I guess, probably somewhere in there, depending exactly where she lives. But it don't mean anything. But the FBI's on it. I'll tell you that. I will tell you that. You couldn't commit a crime, your hair shits. Right. The stress of it. Oh, Lord, it's too much. Look, it'd be too much trouble. Listen, if I committed a crime, I'm going to be OJ. If I did it, honey, I would just leave it. I just couldn't deal with it. I just couldn't. I ain't trying to be funny. I'm just saying, Jesus, why would anybody want to do something that's so complicated that they just have to keep on lying and keep on and cover this and cover that and cover that? Seriously. I mean, what is wrong with people? What is seriously wrong with people? But she lives about an hour and a half from the border. But that don't mean anything. It just means that FBI's on it. They got a watch on it. They got their eyes on it. They're going to be checking all that over around there. Because when a disappearance happens within 100 miles or so of an international border, investigators immediately start to consider that. It's not just me. That's the truth. They immediately start to consider, and they just act on it. That's their job. That's what they do. That's a fact. But look, the most critical, as we know in any case, is the first 24 to 48 hours. They're crucial. Those hours are crucial. And what do I always say? You can't get back. You can't get back time. And time don't stop. Time's going to go on with or without you, with or without the cops, with or without the FBI. Time's going to keep ticking. And this 84-year-old woman is not found. I don't care who she belongs to. She don't deserve to be missing. She should never be gone from the comfort of her home. But see, 24 to 48 hours are very important, and delays slow down the chance of any tracking, any movement by vehicles, by phones, whether it be hers that she did not take with her, or whether it be pings, somebody else's. Now, there's no confirmed evidence that Nancy was taken across the border, so let's get that straight right here, right now. There's nothing that I've heard credible stating that at all. But I'm just telling you. But make no mistakes, it is critical. She's 84 years old. She does not have her medications. That alone changes everything. At 84 years old, you're at a very big risk. You're at a higher risk. You're at a higher risk for, believe it or not, no matter how hot or cold it is outside. It doesn't matter if you're in a snowstorm. And I was going to talk about that earlier, being in a snowstorm and being dehydrated. Let me tell you something. You can still be dehydrated, but at 84 years old, you're still at a very huge risk for being dehydrated. Then you get disoriented. You can also have falls. Then you can have your cardiac arrest. We don't know what medications she was on. We don't know what she needs for her health, and we don't know what her health issues were. You know, her mind may have been sharp as a tack, and she's beautiful. She's beautiful. She evidently got up, dressed herself, took care of herself, her skin, her hair, her face. But see, looks can deceive. You cannot judge a book by its cover. We don't know what ailments she had. We don't know what meds she needed or health issues she has. She could have anything wrong with her and be the most beautiful, well-kept woman on the outside, only to have not only mobility problems, but other medical problems that is critical besides the mobility and just leaving her medicine behind. Don't let looks deceive y'all. Recovery odds drop. They drop a lot after 48 hours without care, especially if you're 84 years old. Even if no crime was committed. Now, they think there was a crime committed, so I'm not saying here, but I'm just letting you know. I like to give awareness. I like to give knowledge. But even if there was no crime committed, time is the biggest enemy, especially if you're 84. And we can't stop time. We can't turn back time. It keeps going tick-tock, tick-tock. She did leave behind all of her essential things, but especially as they stressed and they didn't break HIPAA, it is crucial. The public, they said, knows she needs her medication to survive. So even if somebody took her and they didn't hurt her and they were screwing with somebody for whatever reason, she needs her medication or she's not going to survive. And that's a very strong, bad indicator, in my opinion, for her. And that's per law enforcement. That's per her family. It is sad, very sad. The law enforcement said it out loud. The home seemed to be a crime scene, though. And I'm thinking that they think that it's a lot more than what's being put out. There was blood and DNA. And look, her age without her medication, that alone makes it a medical emergency, not just a missing person report. She's possibly hurt. Cold nights and I don't know what the weather is there in the daytime, maybe warm days. It doesn't matter. She could get hypothermia. She's at hypothermia risk, dehydration. All that occurs faster in the dry climates. And don't forget, weather affects older people differently, a lot differently than it affects younger people, even 5, 10 years younger, you know. So it's not good. Outdoor survival for elderly people can be or has to be measured by hours. to a few days without shelter because it can get real rough real quick and it can go downhill real fast. Those 24 hours are going to make a difference, and she's already been gone, what, 72 longer hours? I mean, yeah, the nights, absolutely. 48 hours, she's going to start to have medical complications, and in 72 hours, her survival rate is going to drop tremendously without intervention. And that's just taking into account her age and stuff. Now, it does not mean the outcome is hopeless. It does not confirm harm. It just means that speed is everything. It's of the essence, y'all. Don't forget, many recoveries happen because cases are treated urgently. I like how they're treating this case urgently. I don't care if her daughter is a news anchor. Don't care. Good. If it gets this lady found, good. But see, we'll have to wait and see, because here's the problem. Will it? Because this is what I tell y'all all the time. Money can't buy everything. Just saying. Many recoveries happen because cases are treated urgently, and right now they're going to treat this one as urgent as possible. No matter what, they're going to. They're going to look and investigate everything. They're going to relook at all the digital vehicle trackings, license plates readers. If they've already done all that, they're going to get somebody else's fresh eyes on it to look, because people's tired. They're not going to flub this up. They're going to do everything the right way. They know the world's eyes is on them, though, because of her daughter. They know everybody's eyes is on them. They've been pretty good about giving the updates and alerts, without jeopardizing anything. They've gave a few clues here and there. But anything can change in the blink of an eye. Now listen, no matter what, an 84-year-old lady, a body, it can't bounce back the way a younger person might. So you can forget that. The stress, the hormones in your body, all that it spikes your heart, it strains you. You get confused. And when you miss your medication, it don't matter if it's blood pressure, it don't matter if it's heart medications, it don't matter if it's diabetic medication, it don't matter. It's going to screw you up. None of that, in my opinion, is good at all. And then the dehydration, if that sets in, hopefully she's somewhere set up being taken care of. That's my hope. Last I heard, right before I come on, within the last hour, it's come out. They've been putting out ransom notes. Somebody has. Is that a scam? Is that an asshole? I don't know, to be honest. Oh, there you go, Raymond. Yeah, I heard that too right before I come on. But, that they heard that, they know that, they are aware of that, and they are checking on that. I heard it was with the Bitcoins. Lord have mercy. I don't know about these people. I seriously don't. Look, let's watch something else. Hold on.
Nancy Guthrie, the mother of Today anchor Savannah Guthrie, is reported missing in Arizona. The Pima County Sheriff's Office said it received a 911 call around noon Sunday, February 1st. Officials said she was reported missing from her home outside Tucson. Sheriff Chris Nano said Guthrie is 84 and not of good physical health, raising concerns. A missing persons flyer lists her as 5'5", about 150 pounds, with brown hair and blue eyes. Anyone with information is asked to contact the Pima County Sheriff's Office.
But we're looking for a missing person. Nancy Guthrie, I think we sent out an email to all of you. Came to our attention, we got a call, a 911 call, that Miss Guthrie was reported missing from her home. That call came in around noon earlier today. Our teams came out, our search and rescue team, being supported by our volunteers from Search and Rescue Association, from PSAR, from Border Patrol. They gave us their search and rescue dogs. We've pretty much just thrown everything at this as we can. Miss Guthrie is 84 years old and is not of good physical health, and so naturally we have some great concerns. The scene at the house also has some concerns for us as well.
What is it about the scene that concerns you?
I don't want to get into those details. I would just tell you that it's certainly a grave concern to us, just what we see there, and we'll continue to look.
So you suspect foul play?
I'm not ruling it out.
Okay.
I think we're all wondering, can you confirm that this is Savannah Guthrie's mom?
This is Mrs. Guthrie's mom, yes.
Is there anything meaningful about it being homicide detectives, or is that standard?
It's not standard. Typically, our homicide team comes out when we have a homicide.
There's your first clue. Did you hear him? He held his head down. They wanted to know, is it typical that homicide detectives come out normally? He looked down and he said, it's not standard. It's not standard. I agree. And that was early on.
This one was a great concern simply because of what the scene was telling us.
What would you gauge the chances are that it's foul play? Would you be willing to give us any idea on that?
No, I hope it's not. I hope we find her. I hope we find her safe and sound. But we can't ignore what's in front of us. We need to take all the precautions we can and deal with much evidence in front of us.
I believe it was around noon yesterday, we got a call to the Guthrie residence that Nancy Guthrie, 84 years old, was missing. We expended a lot of resources for a missing person that we typically always do. Our search and rescue volunteers, our search and rescue teams, other agencies, Borstar from Border Patrol sent their canines out. They worked tirelessly all day yesterday to no avail. As I said yesterday, we saw some things at the home that were concerning to us. We believe now, after we've processed that crime scene, that we do in fact have a crime scene, that we do in fact have a crime. And we're asking the community's help. This is a 84-year-old lady who suffers from some physical ailments, has some physical challenges, is in need of medication that if she doesn't have in 24 hours, it could be fatal. So we make a plea to anyone who knows anything about this, who has seen something, heard something, to contact us. Call 911.
Recognizing your limitations, but can you elaborate at all on what makes you believe it's a crime scene as opposed to someone who left home and just couldn't find their way back?
Well, I think I told you she is very limited in her mobility, right? We know she didn't just walk out of there. That we know. There are other things at the scene that indicate there was she did not leave on her own. We know that.
Do you believe that this was targeted, or they just happened to hit Savannah Guthrie's mom, or if this was just random?
We don't know that. We look at all of that, but we just don't know that.
And what does that search look like today beyond what you've already told us about last night?
So we have shut down our search and rescue mission, and we've sent them home to rest. They were out all night. Look, we put all our air assets into this, our drone systems, our aircraft, our helicopters, heat sensors, infrared, everything we've thrown at this. They're going to step aside. We'll call them out again if we need to do more searching. But right now, we don't see this as a search mission as much as we do a crime scene.
I'm Erin Jensen with USA.
Okay, yeah, there was not much I could do about the video. It's full. Let's see, let me double check. Yeah, it's full up. It's just the video. But credit goes to USA Today for that. And yeah, if you know anything, you can call that number right there, or FBI or 911. But yeah, he looked very sad. He sounded very sad. Hi, Sue. Welcome in. Welcome in, everyone coming in. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much. Let's listen here. Hold on.
And a very good morning to you. Welcome to Today on this Monday morning. Thank you so much for starting your week with us. Chanel is here, and we want to get right to what is a deeply personal story for us. Nancy Guthrie, Savannah's beloved mother, has been reported missing in Arizona.
Nancy, who is 84, was last seen Saturday night and reported missing on Sunday by family members.
Savannah saying in a statement, on behalf of our family, I want to thank everyone for the thoughts, prayers, and messages of support. Right now, our focus remains on the safe return of our dear mom. We thank law enforcement for their hard work on this case and encourage anyone with information to contact the Pima County Sheriff's Department at 520-351-4900. Tom, good morning. The sheriff said that what they found especially concerning was the scene at the house. What's the significance of that?
That's right, Craig. And obviously our thoughts and prayers are out with our colleague Savannah this morning. You know, people go missing all the time in this country, and it can be a frustrating process for families as they ask law enforcement to look and intervene. One of the things that police do first is they go to somebody's house in a case like this. And according to what the sheriff said last night in Pima County, what they uncovered was a scene that was, quote, very concerning to them, but later used the phrase grave concern at the press conference last night. So it was the evidence that they found at Nancy Guthrie's house. She's 84 years old, that they found there that led them to this point where they thought that this is something that required their urgent attention.
And of course, we will be keeping you updated throughout the morning.
Sending our love, my friend. All right.
So they used grave concern. You saw the blood splatter. Which we're still, again, we'll talk about that in a minute, but they are using the, grave concern, but she, it doesn't matter. Look, she's high risk, and these high risk cases have breakthroughs most often come from small details, not dramatic events. And all these things really matter. If you go back and you look and you think you've seen something, please tell or turn it in. Please, they are asking you for your help. They need your help and they want your help. All these things really matter because most common, is stuff like the surveillance reviews, for them to review them again and again. As we know, we can all miss stuff on that. And that's not being lazy or being whatever. It's just being, it happens. It happens. And they've not got around to asking everybody, I'm sure, for their videos. Turn it in for it gets erased. Thank you, Raymond. Raymond gifted a membership. Woo, Raymond. Thank you. Whoever got that, welcome to Smiley Squad. We are so glad to have you here. Thank you so much. Raymond is a great supporter. Thank you. But yeah, turn in those surveillance cameras. Let the law enforcement look at them. Don't assume there's nothing on there that they cannot use. If they haven't got around to you yet, don't take a chance on them getting overridden. Call them, take them to them. Your doorbell cameras, all that's important. They're going to be relooking at traffic cameras and license plate readers. And they're going to go by witnesses and memories. And the quicker, the better. All of that matters. Don't wait weeks. Don't wait months. Don't wait days. Everything matters now, yesterday. Every 10 minutes, every 30 minutes matters. Everything matters. A neighbor might recall something odd, but again, it's only odd to you, but it may be important to law enforcement. It may not be important to you, and that's okay. Maybe a driver was driving 20 miles down the road and remembered seeing a driver stop beside them and somebody acting strangely, or their interaction with someone acting nervous or strange. Everything is important and everything matters. But they're going to be looking at all the digitals, the phones, the pings, anything that was through there. They will check out credit card attempts. Although she didn't take her credit cards, how do we know? How do we know somebody didn't pick up one she just got, maybe a new one? How do we know they don't know her and don't know her every move and don't maybe something that her kids don't know she got? How do we know? And that's not to say she's using anything. They're going to check out everything. Trust and believe that. They're already on everything. But she didn't take, as far as we know, everything. But maybe they're not also just telling us everything. Maybe they're not giving us all the information because they don't want to scare somebody off, or they don't want somebody to know that they're on their trail. But they're going to be looking and they're going to be searching. And I don't think it'll be long before they find her, in my opinion, but that's just my opinion. That's only my thoughts and my opinions. I'm sure they've most likely done everything. And again, they're going to redo everything. Someone might actually connect a detail that's initially been dismissed by somebody. But then they're going to be like, hold up, just a minute. That happens too. And again, that's not careless. It's not laziness. It's just life. It's just a fact. Some people need to live in the real world. Some, not all, but some cases break when one small thing, one inconsistently finally makes sense to somebody. Sometimes that's all it takes. Sometimes police just avoid releasing information to keep the suspect going or to keep them from fleeing, or they do it just to hold back evidence or to verify. Sometimes they do it to verify confessions. Believe it or not, you got weirdos out here who like to confess things they did not do for the attention. Why on God's green earth? I don't know. But that's a fact. That does happen. Sometimes they're simply just multitasking. But with older people and elderly cases, they do balance speed, accuracy. They want to be safe. They want to have it so bad. They want to get the things right. And it's important. And every hour counts. Everything is valuable. Like I said, 10 minutes, every 20 minutes, every hour is valuable. It's urgent. There's also the blood. The blood can tell a lot. You know, whether we saw a lot of blood out there, to me, that was, a pretty significant amount of blood. But sometimes it's the type of injury, okay? Maybe somebody didn't notice carrying her out the front door, but did anybody clean up? It does not automatically mean harm by someone, but it's not a good sign, I'll tell you that. But if you think about even small injuries, nosebleeds, falls, cuts, that can be visible. Just how much did they find? Was it a blood stain? Was it a splatter? Was it a larger amount? Was it something somebody tried to clean up visibly in the home and missed? Was it on the floor versus the wall versus the furniture? Hey, have y'all ever, hit your hand or your arm or shook blood or whatever? It goes everywhere. Have you ever sneezed, coughed? I mean, that shit goes everywhere in little bitty tiny forms. They're going to look at entry ways, private rooms, how high, how low, were the splatters visible to the eye? Again, did somebody try to clean it up? Was it all clean? Was it got? Evidently, we see that porch wasn't clean. Or did they think it was clean and just wasn't dry yet? Was it sprinkled around? These are things we don't know. So movement matters. They think she was taken from her bed, law enforcement said, but they will be looking at movement. They probably already are, as I'm speaking on this live. But after the injury or injuries happen there, they're going to want to know these things. Do y'all remember Jodi Arias? She tried to clean up a whole entire freaking mess. I mean, everything. She washed clothes. She washed towels. She even washed her camera. Little did she know that she even made more pictures and it saved the whole damn crime scene. So movement is going to matter. Movement matters. Smiley don't know a lot about buttons, but do y'all realize when Jodi Arias did that with her camera and it washed it and all that, that's when I stopped worried about every time cleaning out because I hate cleaning out pockets when people don't take their shit out of their pockets. Why should it be my job to do it? Now, if it's ink pens, I'm going to be mad as hell, but I'm just saying. That's when I learned, oh, I can wash these Nintendo games. I can wash this, that, and the other. It's fine. And they worked just fine, honey. That's exactly when I learned that. I sure did. But they're going to be checking the movement. They're going to be checking how tall, the patterns, how small, where, when, what. Was she dragged, pushed, carried? What was the movement? Was it drip? Was it, again, try to be cleaned? We don't know any of that, and I don't know any of that, and I don't know what her medical conditions was. You know, I don't know what Nancy had wrong with her, but it's been made zero secrets. She must have her medication, and that could be life-saving, or it could be life or death within 24 hours, and it's been past 24 hours, unfortunately. I don't know. I don't know what she was taking. Now, I say she was possibly on blood thinners. Possibly. I don't know that. You know. But again, you can bleed to death with a small cut or scrape. Even if you stump your toe, you cut your finger, whether you're peeling an onion or making you a tomato sandwich. Who knows? So, blood drops. I don't know. It can tell the place, right? But again, was she carried out? Was it even one person? Or was it more than one person there? I would love to know. But I think we will. I think we'll know. I think we'll have all the answers soon. I don't think this is one we're really going to have to bang our head against too much longer. That's just me and my thoughts and my opinion. Investigators can determine whose blood it is. Especially like if it was hers, but especially if they've been in trouble before. If they hadn't, it may be a little bit longer. That's going to escalate things a little bit. Any unknown DNA, that's certainly going to exclude people or bring people in. Sometimes the process takes days, it takes weeks, sometimes hours. They're going to get a prelim on it, I'm pretty sure. Not always, but they might get lucky. Especially if someone already is in the system, like I said. But it may take a while. I just hope it don't take a while to find her. But it still can't tell us where a person's at. Because if that could happen, we would already know and we wouldn't even be sitting here right now, would we? So it don't really matter how much blood or DNA or anything else that they got. They don't know if she's near. They don't know if she's far. They don't know if she's gone across that border. They don't know where she's at. They don't know where the person or people is at. But I know this, she's on my mind. I think she's going to be found. I feel it in my heart. There's no doubt she's going to be found. Let's watch something else real quick.
We spend 1/3 of our life in bed, and that's why I sleep on and recommend the Helix Midnight Lux. My name is Dr. David.
Authorities believe Today Show host Savannah Guthrie's mother was kidnapped, abducted, or otherwise taken against her will. Here's what to know. Nancy, the 84-year-old mother of Savannah Guthrie, was last seen on Saturday evening at her home in the Tucson area, Arizona. Her family reported her missing around noon on Sunday after she failed to appear at church. Now, the Pima County Sheriff's Department is investigating the possibility that she was taken overnight, Saturday night or early Sunday morning. She had limited mobility and officials say she was of sound mind. They don't believe she left on her own. They also said she needs daily medication and that she could die without it. Searchers have been using drones and search dogs and have been supported by volunteers and Border Patrol. The FBI has also offered to help in the search.
Hi, I'm Adam, co-founder of Healing.
I'm sitting here talking away. See, to me, that just looks like a lot of blood right there. It looks like a lot of blood to me going out that door. And I don't think she was running out here to get help. I just, it's just too much, in my opinion. So I don't know. How many people was it? Again, I don't know. But I know it's of essence that they hurry up and try to find her, which they are trying her best. But will they hold evidence back? Yes, they absolutely will. But everything is urgent, and they are asking for your help. They are asking for your help. They're going to be looking at everything. And again, I just think it's very important. The weather, her not having her medicine, her not having what she needs. We already know she's bleeding. We assume that's her blood. Let me say that. We assume that's her blood. Does anybody know who called? I know we listened to the call, but who literally, they said a family member went in, who literally called that in? Because we didn't, that I'm aware of, I didn't hear who literally called that in. See, I would be freaking out, like, there's blood all over the porch. Did they not notice? Did they go in a different way? I guess that's what I'm getting at. I don't know, but it's still, it still can't tell us regardless where she's at. And that's what they need to know. And they are asking for your help. Let me take this down here. They are asking for your help. There's the phone number. If you need to call any of those phone numbers, please do. And also they said, the Pima County Sheriff's Department said today that it is aware of reports regarding possible ransom notes. So this is for real. That come out on TMZ also. But I'm saying, is it real ransom notes, or is that a scam too? People are out there crazy wannabes. So I don't know. I mean, the police is not taking anything lightly, but the ransom notes they're saying there are ransom notes, at least one. And I was reading they wanted in the Bitcoins. Again, Nancy Guthrie, she's still missing, and they're looking at it all. The police said we're taking all tips very seriously. Anything that comes in goes directly to their detectives, who are coordinating with the FBI, and no additional details were provided. Nancy is said to be 84 years old, 5'5", about 150 pounds, brown hair, blue eyes, last seen on January 31st, 2026, in her home or near her home, East Skyland Drive, and that was East Skyland Drive and North Campbell Avenue. And it is unknown or said to be unknown exactly what she may have been wearing. That I question as well. So if anybody did a ransom note, did they put what she had on? Did they take photos? I don't know, but the police is aware of that. So again, go listen to Justin. I know he's all over this. Clutch Them Pearls. I want to push that channel. I love him. He does a good job on all of these cases, every one of them. I never saw nobody say so busy. Lord have mercy. Oh my God, Donna. Oh, hello, honey. I have been so worried about you. How is your son? I don't know anything, Donna. Last I heard from you, you could not get to the hospital. Can you please update us? Please. I pray everything is okay. We have been praying for you. I have been looking for you, and I don't know what's going on with you. And I don't know if I've missed you, and if I have, I am so sorry. Excuse me. But all I know is I want you to know that our prayers and our thoughts are with you and your son both. But I have been looking for you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming in here. Please let us know what's going on. Sheriff Chris Nanos right here and law enforcement have said they do not believe Nancy left voluntarily. Given her limited mobility that she has, the conditions that happened at home, they're treating the case as a likely kidnapping or abduction, and it's very urgent that she is found. She needs daily medication. So if you have any information whatsoever, please call it in immediately. That number again is 520-351-4900. That is the main number. They have also provided for a tip line for information, and they want you, if you know where she's at, if you think you see her, take a picture, a video, call 911. That is an emergency. And if you can, contact the FBI. You can contact the FBI at 1-800, call FBI to report any relevant information. And you may be able to submit anonymous if you want to at 88/crime. Or its website you can go to is www.88crime.org. So you can go to www.88crime.org. When you call or you submit a tip, be ready to let them know what you saw, what you heard, the location, date, time you saw or heard it, any photos or videos you may have. They may want you to send them or upload them somewhere else. They'll tell you. And, because that information may matter. Any vehicles that you might have saw, when you saw the vehicles, description of the vehicles. Springfield, Tennessee, we have been at the hospital since January 11th. 2022. My son, he is 55 and had a massive stroke, blood clot on his brain, a mild heart attack, and is paralyzed. I am so sorry, Donna. I am so, so sorry. We have been praying. The last I heard from you was you couldn't get to the hospital and he was on a ventilator. And, we all here have been praying for you. Just know that. And now please keep me updated because we have been worried, sick. Everybody's asked me and I had no idea. I didn't know. And I know you have your hands full, honey. Thank you for letting us know. Please know that our prayers and our thoughts are with you. Please. But every detail, even something small, it matters. It matters. And it can help investigators. I want to end this live respectfully because this is an active investigation. It's very serious. It's a serious situation. And it's involving an elderly woman. And our thoughts remain with Nancy Guthrie and her family and anyone watching that has any information, no matter how small it may seem. Please contact the Prima County Sheriff's Department or the local authorities immediately. Time matters. Tips should go directly to law enforcement, not social media. Not social media. Thank you all for being here so much. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and I will play us out. But know that I will see you in the streets. I'm going to keep up with this story, and hopefully she will be found soon. I love you all. Thank you, mods. Donna, we're praying for you. We're praying for your son. And please come back and keep us updated. And thank you, everybody. Let's play it out.
She was born and bred in Nashville, but she walks the beaches down in Florida sand. A mother and wife, a daughter, a sister, trying hard to do the best she can. She found her voice with a heavy heart, looking for purpose with trembling hands. And giving this all a new start, moving ahead, speaking for ones who came. And she says, I am who I am, I'll stand my ground. Even when the nights get long and rough, you'll hear my sound. She'll be speaking for the ones unheard, 'cause she's got a caring heart that won't be turned. Her mama fought cancer while she was searching, stories that needed a gentle voice. We saw summer's name and felt the heart ache and tried to bring light where there was no choice. And when she heard us the best and her sadness rose, she prays for truth through the noise. follow wherever the story goes, seeking their dignity, a child's joy. She says I am who I am, I'll stand my ground. Even when the nights get long and rough, you'll hear my sound. She'll be speaking for the ones on earth, 'cause she's got a caring heart that won't be She said I am who I am, I stand my ground. Even when the nights get long and rough, you'll hear my sound. She'll be speaking for the ones of her. She's got a caring heart that won't be turned.
Good night, everybody.